The goddess appeared and asked me for a favor. She wanted me to save this dying world. So I gave it everything I had. The fight ended, but where are my teammate? Blood splattered across the ground like rain. His face was completely covered in blood. His body refused to move anymore. Sleep was pulling him under fast. He stood there barely alive, bleeding out. His eyes were fading, he needed rest. Everything went dark as consciousness slipped away. 55 cycles of death regression and reincarnation. He fell through golden light completely exhausted. This whole run was just another pointless grind. The goddess touched his head, calling it long. Long. After 55 cycles, that's all she say. The goddess appeared in radiant, blinding light. She suggested another reincarnation, and he snapped. This expressionless being is supposedly a goddess. He realized she was the one who kidnapped him. Flashback. She took him as a child. She threw him into another world to die. Death screens flashed over and over again. 55 versions of himself, all broken and dead. He finally snapped, refusing to do this anymore. The lead snaps, telling the goddess his mind will break first. Goddess notes his treatment is normal, confused by his outburst. A flashback shows the lead being healed after a brutal death. He explains the pain of 55 deaths is destroying his sanity. The goddess cheerfully asks to prepare for the next regression. Lead screams in refusal, but she states his request is impossible. He clutches his head, saying he was just joking. The goddess stares, utterly bewildered by his reaction. She tells him has earned the right to return home. The lead is shocked, asking if it's over after failing 55 times. Goddess explains the process mattered more than the result. She snaps her fingers, ready to send him back immediately. The lead's feet begin to glow as he protests, needing answer. She says his accumulated power will connect into something great. The lead is furious as she kicks him out without more explanation. Goddess smiles, saying she'll be looking forward to seeing him. A sudden blinding light erupts. The lead wakes up, blinded by light, hearing his mom. He groans, sitting on the bathroom floor with a stomach ache. A hand grips the sink, steadying himself. He realizes 18 months have passed since his return to reality. His apartment is empty. The goddess is gone. He recalls being kidnapped the day before his military enlistment. Then he was discharged from the army just yesterday. The lead sighs, furious as he pours water, thinking about it all. Lead groans, finally getting up to answer the persistent doorbell. A text message asks if they're going out again today. The lead texts back, complaining about being old and exhausted. Junior teases, asking if the lead is scared. The lead sighs, deciding it's fine to go out. A memory shows the junior looking out for the lead in the army. The junior texts, revealing a surprise discharge present. Lead is intrigued, wondering what the gift could be. The junior calls out, spotting the lead at their meeting spot. Junior Ju Yeonwoo waves cheerfully from a cafe table. The lead notes Yeonwoo looks fine after yesterday's drinking. Lead asks directly about the promised present. The lead tries to leave, but Yeonwoo stops him. Yeonwoo brings up a game called Record Project. He reveals a level 2 membership card for the game. The lead holds the card, told it's a gift without pressure. Yeonwoo winks, mentioning the card's high value. The lead jokes about Yeonwoo needing a security guard. Yeonwoo reveals he found a job and has no time for game. The lead's eyes widen, processing this new information. Lead states making money must come first. Yeonwoo laments the lead's lack of romanticism. The lead grabs Yeonwoo, yelling about games not feeding you. Yeonwoo shouts that the game could lead to a massive jackpot. The lead freezes, stunned by the mention of hundreds of million. He apologizes for his rudeness, asking to hear the detail. Next, he explains the game. RP was made by Team Zero. The founders will offers the company to the first clearer. Any strategies to clear the game are now worth a fortune. Corporations are forming teams, but solo players still have a chance. He decides to give the game a shot. His friend celebrates, toasting to his decision. They agree to head out to the event immediately. For a moment, they arrive at the massive special event zone. Hez overwhelmed by the enormous crowd at the event. His friend yanks him by the collar, leading the way. They need to buy a newbie guidebook before starting. He holds up the ornate, glowing guidebook. His friend warns that RP is brutal for newcomer. He reluctantly opens the guidebook to check its content. Hez shocked by what he sees inside the book. The book glows ominously as he questions its content. He reads the name Find Erford with a stunned expression. Suddenly, he stares at his phone, realizing a painful truth. He grips the book tightly, understanding her true intention. His friend snaps him out of his daze, calling his name. Walking away, his friend asks why he looks so serio. He shows the Record Project guidebook, asking about Team Zero. Team Zero is shrouded in secrecy, led by a mysterious woman. He suspects a link between the team and Agati. His eyes close, whispering, "Why?" to himself. Golden light flickers as his eyes snap open. Flashback hits. Kneeling in flames, that world wasn't game. Blood-soaked hands remember the disgust of first kill. Another death memory. Explosion ripping through his body. The goddess looms, declaring failure, asking if hell return. He turns away, deciding this ends the pain. Back at the counter asking about gear delivery time, Yeonwoo grabs his phone setting up required app. Yeonwoo teases him about the crumpled guidebook. Yeonwoo waves goodbye heading inside first. He smiles promising to log in soon enough. There he arrives home, package already waiting at his door. Holding the box sweating over 5 million won price tag, the gaming device gleams components spread across bed. He examines the strange circular pieces curiously, checking the clock. Still time before mom return. He straps the wrist device on just in case. Lying flat, fully equipped, ready to dive in. System screens flash. This feels way more real than expected. Floating in blue light settings, window refuses to appear. Frustrated, he decides to reboot the buggy system. His finger presses the glowing system button. Red error screen. Character creation has catastrophically failed. Glitching chaos reveals existing character. The goddess strikes again. Digital glitches surround him as the game loads him in. He materializes into the world, adjusting his new glove. Birds soar over waves as the game world reveals itself. Port City Edlin welcomes him back after so long. He stares at his reflection, recognizing something deeply familiar. His eyes widen as he reaches toward the Gla. This avatar matches exactly how he looked in his final regression. Blood splatters across his face in a violent flashback. He wonders if the goddess left him some hidden message. Flames consume him as the command "Start Again" echo. Friend requests from Roper flood his notifications nonstop. He gasps, overwhelmed by the sudden barrage of message. Inside him, he realizes Roper must be Yeonwoo's in-game nickname. Yeonwoo's cheerful voice calls out to him excitedly. Yeonwoo appears complaining he should have messaged immediately upon logging in. His friend's avatar displays the name Luxurious Roper prominently. He questions why Yeonwoo made his avatar identical to reality. Yeonwoo asks about his nickname, confused, since he created it. He taps his character info and discovers his assigned nickname. His face contorts in horror while Yeonwoo bursts into laughter. He demands to change it, insisting he never chose that. The nickname, Black Dragon, appears as Yeonwoo laughs harder. He grabs Yeonwoo in frustration, telling him to stop laughing. Then he angrily dismisses the notifications, refusing to acknowledge them. A prompt asks if he agrees to stream his gameplay. Yeonwoo streams regularly with a bot called Recorder handling highlight. He proposes splitting revenue. Yeonwoo streams while the lead play. The lead sits there visibly uncomfortable with this arrangement. He reluctantly agrees, asking about the money split detail. Yeonwoo grins and asks him to just trust this once. They go live as Luxurious Roper and Black Dragon. Chat immediately mocks the nicknames, calling him an edgelord. The lead fumes at the comments, clearly irritated by them. Yeonwoo reminds him the goal is money, not pleasing chat. Yeonwoo's eyes gleam. Hell, show them what real flaming looks like. The system recommends basic skills, but he knows advanced techniques already. Lead touches a glowing panel, triggering something unexpected. Yeonwoo watches, curiously eager to see what skills appear. Both freeze as blue light floods the screen before them. A cascade of skill icons materializes from the glowing panel. Neither understands what's happening. The lead can't explain it either. More skill icons keep appearing with each passing moment. Yeonwoo points excitedly at the overwhelming display of skill. Chat explodes with confusion, demanding explanations and compensation. Yeonwoo demands answers. The lead has no idea what's happening. Close-up of the lead's eye, sweat beating with realization. He stares at something only he can perceive appearing. His lips part about to speak, trembling with shock. Yeonwoo screams, their hidden skills incredibly rare one. Multiple glowing icons appear. Sword Fist Healing Arrow ability. Yeonwoo explains these are just skill recommendations, nothing more. The lead recognizes every single skill card instantly. He touches the glowing cards, impressed by the selection. Next, he plans to use these skills as his springboard. He'll figure out how this world differs from before. Most importantly, he needs to uncover the goddess's true motive. He decides to start simple with fire element magic. For a moment, he asks Yeonwoo where to find quests in this game. Yeonwoo questions his choice, surprised. His going magic. Yeonwoo mocks him, rambling about Black Dragon being cooler. The lead is confused why everyone treats magic like trash. Yeonwoo explains proficiency is the most important thing here. Building magic proficiency is insanely harder than other skill. You can't even see your progress until you max it. The lead remembers a painful memory of failed training. He knows talent and effort are needed to learn anything, but magic was always the most difficult path to take. That's why choosing the right teacher matters even more. He asks if he can choose his own teacher. Suddenly, he insists someone must teach him magic right. Yeonwoo nervously tries calming everyone down about his ignorance. Yeonwoo explains quests reward skill books for learning ability. The lead finds it convenient that skill books exist now. Exhausted, he begs his teacher to stop for today. A stern woman orders him to quit whining and stand up. Yeonwoo questions why he'd visit that sketchy magic teacher. The lead rants. Magic books from that guy are total scam. Stream chat mocks Yulio while he donates 1,001. Yanwoo thanks the donor, dramatically milking every bit of content. The lead realizes they actually earned real money from streaming. Hez stunned. Chat celebrates his genuine clueless reaction. Yanwoo defends every one earned. Streaming's a business after all. The lead jokes Head saved the money over Yanwoo drowning. Yanwoo insists. Fire magic means visiting Yulio, no exception. The lead suddenly stops pulling up something on his screen. He asks Yenwoo if he knows a teacher named Atsabel. A portrait appears. Blonde woman, green eyes, suspiciously charming smile. The lead stares in stunned silence, recognizing her immediately. Yeonwoo warns, this character concept will attract serious backlash. Yenwoo explains Atsabel's just a quest NPC to normal player. She's a fraud and thief who gets arrested permanently. Players wanted her route added, but developers never delivered. The lead cuts the debate short. They're visiting Atsabel now. Chat calls him stubborn, frustrating despite his interesting roleplay idea. The lead finally agrees. They'll try Yulios' route instead. Chat bets 10,001. He must dance if Yulios legit. The lead smirks. Has got plenty of sexy dance experience. He leads the way, telling everyone to follow closely behind. The lead claims they're taking a shortcut through unfamiliar street. They arrive at Jilio shop. Yeonwoo, bewildered by his mysterious knowledge. The lead stares at a portly merchant through a shop window. Merchant clasps his hands joyfully, shouting the name Yulio. A close-up shows the lead's fist trembling with suppressed emotion. A flashback shows him behind bars, calling the memory annoying. A blonde character questions the game's high level of NPC interaction. The lead's expression softens, a faint smile appearing as he says, "Young, heavy boots pound the cobblestones," as someone runs urgently. A figure bursts dramatically through double doors into a sunlit hall. The lead strides forward, his shadow stretching long on the floor. Merchant beams, welcoming a customer with clasped hand. The lead grabs the merchant by his cravat furio. He snarls, calling the merchant a hopeless piece of garbage. The blonde character watches from the doorway, shocked. Blonde panics, calling for an admin about Black Dragon Hayoung. The lead glares down, his eyes glowing with purple energy. Terrified merchant stammers, asking to be let go. A tight close-up shows the lead's intense, determined eye. He releases the merchant, who stumbles back with an agu. The merchant apologizes, saying the last magic book was just sold. He offers a substitute, proposing to introduce the lead to a place. The merchant sets a condition. The lead must do him a favor. He explains a thief snuck into his shop while he dozed. Holding a glowing pendant, he identifies the thief as rival Atsabel. He asks for help catching the thief, smiling slyly. A quest window appears. Arrest Atsabel for a fireball skill book. He questions the quest, sensing a lie from his teacher. Flashback reveals his past betrayal and framing by Atsabel. He recalls being imprisoned, called a manji mutt. A memory shows his fabricated crimes and stolen legacy. He confirms the quest reward, asking about the thief's fate. The teacher coldly states the thief never leaves prison. She implies that Atsabel will also answer for her crime. A sudden, powerful impact shakes the ground. The shopkeeper smirks, asking for the customer's decision. Lead moves swiftly to catch the fleeing scammer. Yanwoo shouts, protesting the trashing of the shop. The scammer panics as items crash around him. A hand reaches for a pouch, calling the scammer a bastard. The lead holds the pouch, confused by the accusation. A quest window appears. Arrest the scammer Yulio. The shopkeeper's smug face confirms the setup. Chat realizes the scam was real, expressing shock. The lead punches the scammer, silencing his protest. Scammer screams as his struck again. He crashes into the wall with tremendous force. The lead notes the 500 gold reward feeling used. Guards burst in, demanding to know what's happening. The lead's eyes narrow, realizing the quest is over. A cutscene begins showing the scammer's arrest. The lead watches, his expression cold and calculating. Surrounded by weapons, he realizes this world feels different. Exhausted, he catches his breath after the ordeal. A glowing quest card materializes before his eye. Quest completed, 500 gold and a new objective. Yanwoo shouts, excitedly questioning this convenient coincidence. His friend demands answers. How did he know everything? He panics, internally searching for a believable explanation. There, he fabricates a story about obsessive fantasy novel reading. Yanwoo laughs, teasing him about being a total nerd. A donation appears. Yanwoo promises to interrogate him further. Chat explodes with comments. He questions streaming culture. He decides to trust Yanwoo and focus on combat. Walking together, he asks about reaching the general store. Yanwoo admits ignorance about Atsabel's NPC connection. He realizes players have been exploiting Atsabel like Yulio, a crucial NPC treated like a criminal by everyone. Atsabel snaps. She wants nothing to do with him. She orders him to move crates instead of freeloading. Inside him, she notices his injuries and scolds him harshly. She tosses a magic book, tells him to study instead. Behind bars, Atsabel mutters something incomprehensible. A voice commands her to look up from below. She reassures someone it's not their fault, just wait. Flames consume her through the window, she burns to death. He grips the door. Atsubal remains a painful memory. The lead stands in heavy silence, processing the painful memory. A gloved hand pushes open a wooden door with a soft creak. He steps into the sunlight, his expression set with determination. A blonde woman at Subal leans on a counter looking bored. She glances up, her green eyes sharp with curiosity. Then she questions his identity, stating she's never seen him before. Atsubal leans forward, demanding to know who he thinks he is. The lead smiles, explaining, has a newbie seeking magic lesson. She stands laughing at the absurdity of teaching a stranger. Atsubal questions why she would ever agree to such a thing. The lead smirks, hinting he already has a solution ready. Her expression shifts, suddenly recognizing something about him. She points, asking if Hez the one called Black Dragon. Atsubal crouches, confirming his infamous identity with a knowing look. She sighs, revealing Yulio was trying to frame him as a thief. Atsubal calls Yulio trash, saying she knew Head caused trouble. She thanks him, relieved to be saved from a nasty situation. The lead dismisses the thanks, stating he can't stand Yulio either. They share a moment, mutually agreeing on Yulio's total scammer face. Atsubal turns, asking if he's still looking for that magic book. Her eyes widen, noticing something else on her desk. The lead correctly guesses she's actually looking for medicine. A close-up shows a magical diagram and books on her desk. Atsubal is shocked, asking how he could possibly know that. She turns with a determined look, suddenly offering to help him. The blonde woman winces, pain evident in her expression. She tests him, asking about his knowledge of medicine. Next, she describes mysterious symptoms: blue pupils, dizziness, and nausea. He admits he doesn't know the illness's name. She turns away, disappointed by yet another dead end. Dark hands surround her. Worthless experts wasted her hope. She's watched hope become poison too many times before. Potions and healing magic fail. The patient feels nothing. Her trembling hands ask if he truly understands this disease. He grabs her hands. He knows the treatment, not the name. She kneels, desperately begging him to help her mother. He smiles confidently, promising to find the medicine. A quest appears. Cure Etsubal's mother for a heroic spellbook? Yeonwoo panics. Guaranteed heroic grade? That's absolutely insane. The lead reminds him Hez a newbie who needs explaining. Yeonwoo breaks it down. Rank is tier, grade is rarity. Magic books range from normal all the way to mythic. The lead can't believe rank 1 can even reach heroic. This grading system must be a game-only addition, he realizes. Hez eager to test how powerful heroic grade magic really is. Yeonwoo asks where they're headed. The lead hesitates. Suddenly, he clutches his chest, overcome by sharp pain. Yeonwoo panics, grabbing him, asking if he is feeling sick. Blue digital glitches consume his body as he starts glitching. He vanishes in a flash, leaving Yeonwoo completely alone. Yulio stands alone in town, confused by sudden silence. A desperate cry echoes through glitching digital static. Back home, the lead nervously greets his arriving mother. She stares with sharp suspicion, sensing something's wrong. Mom bursts in, furious, demanding why he locked the door. He points at the VR headset Yeonwoo gifted him. For a moment, he explains they plan to game together after discharge. Mom recognizes it from news, warns him not to overplay. He promises moderation, mentioning his internship starts tomorrow. Shes, shocked, he actually followed through securing that position. She hits him again, proud but furious he hit it. A hand reaches out in sudden defensive reflex. He catches her wrist, accusing her of holding him back. She responds with a sharp, stinging slap across his face. Suddenly, she explodes about nagging him right after military discharge. He explains needing work fast, final semester of school. Mom falls silent, processing his serious determination. She mentions the Songdo location, warns about early morning. There, she reminds him never to skip breakfast notice today. He blames Yeonwoo's choco pie. She yells he escape. Inside him, he collapses onto bed, relieved the confrontation's over. He realizes his streams still live, feels guilty. Back in-game, Yulio screams desperately while chat explode. A Korean roleplay community forum trends with viral post. The top post reveals hidden skills. Comments question everything. Kim Jae-ha scoffs at the box, dismissing streaming nonsense entirely. He rants about streamers acting like they're the second coming. His phone shows viral marketing. Curious about this tiny streamer. Searching yields only monster results, but his partners call Black Dragon. Jae-ha smirks. The nickname alone screams young and naive. His expression goes blank, processing something deeper. He slams his hand down. Time to investigate personally. In-game, Yeonwoo grips his controller nervously, something's off. Chat explodes with questions while Yeonwoo stammers for calm. He nervously explains Black Dragon Hayoung completed military service already. Someone's eyes widen in shock at this revelation. Yeonwoo's viewer count suddenly spikes dramatically on screen. He panics. Where did all these viewers come from? Their post got pinned on the RP board. This is insane. A message arrives. Black Dragon starting work tomorrow, logging off. Yanwu's face freezes in stunned disbelief. Another message appears. Hell, leave a hint behind. Yanwu stares at the screen processing the cryptic message. He announces to Chad. Hyung left them a parting gift. The hint reveals bomb slimes drop the cure for Atsible's quest. Morning light hits the city buildings. Real world await. Kang Hanbit checks his phone confirming the Audrey. He looks up at the building. First day starts now. Hanbit enters nervously introducing himself to his new workplace. A furious coworker demands revisions. Welcome to the office, rookie. Hanbit stares confused at the angry coworker's demand. The coworker rants about HR's incompetence loudly. Hanbit's eyes narrow in silent irritation. A superior orders Lee Minho to prepare the meeting room. Lee Minho introduces himself, offering help to Hanbit. Lee Minho instructs Hanbit to leave his bag and follow. Lee Minho requests Hanbit to move the whiteboard aside. Hanbit aggressively erases the whiteboard's content. Hanbit questions why there are two people present. A man in a white coat sips coffee, questioning Hanbit. Hanbit introduces himself as the new intern to the leader. Hanbit bows, vowing to excel during his internship. The leader coldly instructs Hanbit to merely obey command. Leader dismisses Hanbit once the room is tidy. Hanbit exits the room appearing exhausted and drained. Hanbit internally critiques the company while resolving to learn. In-game, Hanbit's foot glitches with blue digital artifact. Hanbit logs back and apologizing for ignoring message. Yeonwoo cheerfully greets Hanbit, commenting on his expression. Yeonwoo grins, questioning Hanbit's observation about his face. Yeonwoo excitedly reveals their viewer count has skyrocketed. They announce the start of Atsible's challenging in-game quest. Yeonwoo laughs, stating the quest remains unbeaten by other. Hanbit smirks, chiding the chat for lacking creativity. Hanbit readies to demonstrate the quest strategy live on stream. Yeonwoo questions his newbie claim as they walk. The lead says he just reads a lot of fantasy. He argues in a free game anything should be possible. Yeonwoo calls it nonsense, urging him to just trust. They notice a crowd gathering, confused by the commotion. Someone shouts the Vanguard has arrived, startling them. The elite Vanguard players stand together, looking imposing. Yeonwoo realizes the viral post spread further than expected. The lead asks what the Vanguard exactly is. A Vanguard member explains they're the top 10,000 ranked player. Another member details how points from level and progress determine tier. They note only 500 of the 10,000 are in Korea. The lead asks if these top players haven't learned magic. Yeonwoo explains most skip magic to focus on growth. First, the lead notices a player's ornate glowing bow. He recalls the weapon's name, Golden Plume Bow. Then he wonders if even the Vanguard failed Atsible's quest. Yeonwoo reveals most Vanguard players are backed by corporation. He explains the game itself as a massive moneymaker. Someone taps the lead's shoulder, saying, "Excuse me." A woman identifies him as Black Dragon and asks about the stream. Yeonwoo argues with her, defending their plans to start soon. The woman's companion mocks Yeonwoo for believing scammers before. Lead ignores them, suggesting they head to the sea first. He reveals they need a fishing rod to make the cure. Yeonwoo questions the need for a fishing rod. The lead playfully dodges, teasing about sea ingredient. Yeonwoo panics, fearing a prank that could end his stream. The lead confidently asks for 70,000 gold for the rod. Yeonwoo is left utterly confused by the sudden demand. A crowd gathers, drawn by the unfolding in-game drama. The lead feels the pressure of even more viewer. He promises to repay Yeonwoo, who just wants answer. They spot an old fisherman Eldruk sitting by the sea. The lead approaches the old man with a polite greeting. He directly offers to buy the fishing rod. The lead dramatically offers 50,000 gold, calling him grandpa. Old man remains silent, considering the offer. He suddenly counters, demanding 100,000 gold instead. The lead cheerfully agrees, noting the old man's unchanged nature. A heated negotiation ensues, settling finally on 90,000 gold. The old man grumbles about shameless kids these days. Lead celebrates his huge profit with the acquired rod. Yeonwoo jokes that streaming suits the lead's chaotic energy. The lead stands ready with the rod and a slime field. Yeonwoo suggests catching some roleplay within the roleplay. He explains bomb slimes are extremely sensitive to touch. A demonstration shows a slime exploding upon being poked. Yeonwoo explains even distant attacks trigger the same reaction. Another massive explosion engulfs him, proving the point. The lead stares at a slime pulsing with a golden core inside. He flinches. These things just explode on contact, no warning. Yeonwoo questions the fishing rod plan against useless slime. A boot crunches softly against the grassy ground. He spots one at perfect height and readies his rod. The real feels different from reality. Hell need adjustment time. More slimes wobble nearby, their golden cores glowing brightly. Yeonwoo calls out nervously something's changed in the air. He checks his screen. Viewers warn about people tailing them. The lead's eyes narrow calmly. He already knew about them. They've been followed since leaving the city, keeping distance. Multiple shadowy eyes watch from the darkness, several groups stalking. He reaches for Yanwu's screen settings with purpose. A mischievous grin spreads across his face. Sorry, everyone. He flicks the settings. Time for a little screen adjustment fun. Flashback. Young Hanbit reads fantasy novels alone in his room. Military life. No one in his unit shared his nerdy hobby. He reread the same books endlessly until one day. A new junior arrives, saluting sharply in fresh uniform. Hanbit eagerly asks the rookie if he knows this novel. The junior confirms he's read it, especially loving that part. Rookie describes details Hanbit never noticed, despite multiple reading. Hanbit's expression shifts, realizing something incredible about this kid. His eyes sparkle. This junior's knowledge feels almost supernatural. Time passes an RP commercial after discharge seals his fate. Hanbit recalls that junior's incredible knowledge, grinning widely. Yeon-woo warns the stream only shows his screen now. Hanbit plans to pretend focusing on slimes first. Yeon-woo cheerfully asks viewers to follow during the adjustment. Hanbit smirks, knowing viewers crave his perspective too. He senses the stalker's anxiety about competitors closing in. The tense standoff between following groups nears its breaking point. A boot crunches softly against the grassy ground. Hanbit gazes upward, fishing rod ready against the sunset. Three armed stalkers prepare to ambush from the tree line. A gloved finger points dramatically toward the sky. Hanbit shields his eyes as Chat questions his sudden bow. His hands grip the fishing rod with deliberate precision. He casts the line with tremendous force and speed. The special hook soars through the air with purpose. Hanbit reveals the hook's sharpness prevents slime reaction. His thumb presses a hidden button on the rod's handle. Sharp thorns suddenly burst from the hook's tip. Controlled explosions erupt across the slime field dramatically. Hanbit watches calmly as slimes get caught in blast. A glowing slime core drops harmlessly to the ground. The stalkers freeze in complete shock and confusion. One stalker panics, ordering everyone to retreat immediately. He glances upward, sensing something wrong above. Slimes rain from the trees. Panic erupts as stalkers flee. Hanbit's eye suddenly glows gold. Something's activating. He swings his rod, blasting Yanwu backward. Hanbit grins. He just cleaned up the stream sniper. Rod raised high, he declares the real hunt begin. A strange golden slime peeks from behind the rock. The hook descends toward the glowing, pulsing creature. It catches the slime without triggering an explosion. The dud slime plops safely into his collection bag. Hanbit celebrates, Chat's confused why this one didn't detonate. He explains, surviving bomb slimes sometimes transform into dud. Yeon-woo asks if copying this clears the quest easily. Hanbit laughs creepily. Controlling duds isn't simple at all. Someone heavy breathes, hiding in the nearby bushy. Kim Jae-ha gasps. That was almost a disaster for him. He mutters about Black Dragon, realizing Hez no newbie. Next, he suspects a massive corporation fronts this mysterious player. Why would corporate power team with such a tiny streamer? Maybe it's misdirection? Vanguard discovering something to distract everyone. Either way, Jae-ha needs that Atsable quest cleared. He walks toward sunset. This could fill his monthly quota, but nothing ever works out for poor Kim Jae-ha. A woman demands answers. What exactly did they bring her? A bubbling, glowing poison stew sits before her, horrifying Chat. Hanbit and Yanwu exchange nervous, guilty glance. She offers money to settle it. Just leave immediately. The dark-haired man smirks, commenting on her lack of desperation. Blonde woman glares, her face flushed with anger. She shouts at him for speaking nonsense without knowledge. Suddenly, a hand grabs her, startling her mid-rant. She gags as something is forced into her mouth. In the room, the man holds her while one man calls the other trash, but he just smiles. She realizes they fed her something earlier, accusing them. For a moment, she collapses, vomiting violently on the floor. The dark-haired man proudly declares his method worked. Enraged, she grabs him, demanding to know what he did. She questions the seed-like thing that came out of her. He reveals that seed was the cause of her ill knee. Suddenly, he explains it's the true nature of her and her mother's ailment. He notes her pain, which he sensed upon first meeting. There he sympathizes with her silent suffering all this time. He mentions her fear of worrying her mother with the truth. Inside him, he adds that enemies like Yulio would exploit her weakness. She asks how he knows so much. He understands her secrecy. A visual shows the parasitic seed from the far south. He explains it grows in the stomach from contaminated food. Only bomb slime mucus can detach it, requiring a non-explosive dud. The mucus removes explosiveness, leaving only a vomiting toxin. Once the seed is expelled, the illness is gone entirely. She holds the mucus, realizing one purge ends her need for medicine. Hanbit commands someone to go to their mother. He holds a glowing item, thinking of Atsable. Hanbit's eyes narrow, noting she hasn't changed. He calls Atsable foolish for always worrying about other. Flashback shows Atsable fiercely protecting Hanbit from bully. Atsubal smiles warmly, saying she just wants happen. A cutscene begins with Atsubal bringing medicine. Close-up of yellow medicine on a spoon. Atsubal feeds the medicine to her sick mother. She watches anxiously as her mother reacts. Atsubal's green eyes widen in complete shock. Atsubal explains seeds poured out when mom vomited. She stands triumphantly furious at the quack doctor. Hanbit smiles, noting her long-awaited happy expression. Atsubal tears up, thanking them both sincerely. Hanbit shrugs, claiming they didn't actually do anything. Atsubal acknowledges they saved both her and mom. She turns around, offering them a proper reward. Atsubal presents an ornate magic book with gem. Hanbit accepts the book as Atsubal thanks him. Yanwu excitedly begs to touch the precious book. Atsubal stops them, insisting she has more gift. She pulls out a massive sack of reward. Yanwu realizes this exceeds original quest rewards completely. System grants first clear reward, leaving Hanbit stunned. The gold reward skyrockets, doubling from 2,000 to 4,000. Stat points jump from 3 to 5, granting bonus points. Experience floods in adding 200 points to his total. Hanbit gains 5 levels and 5 extra stat points from the book. The magic book's rarity surges from heroic to unique, glowing brilliantly. Hanbit stares blankly, completely bewildered by what just happened. He thought Atsubal's happiness alone was reward enough for him. Yeonwoo realizes the first clear text means something massive. Yeonwoo laughs nervously, admitting he never expected something this rare. The unique magic book sparkles on the floor between them. Yeonwoo panics, begging Hanbit to say something to viewer. Yeonwoo desperately tries calming the exploding chat frenzy. The chat moves impossibly fast, overwhelming poor Yeonwoo completely. Atsubal hands over even more rewards to the stunned duo. Hanbit's eyes widen. There's still more coming his way. A digital glitch ripples across the screen mysteriously. Achievement unlocked, Atsubal's first savior plus referral and stat point. A mysterious prophecy scroll appears with ancient cryptic writing. Atsubal explains the referral leads to a skilled blacksmith. She points out their gear is wrecked from bomb slime hunting. Atsubal clarifies the horrible stench came from slimes, not them. She sincerely thanks them and offers future help whenever needed. Hanbit quietly accepts her generous offer with a subtle nod. Hanbit asks what they should do next in this open world. Everyone starts in Edlin, but freedom awaits beyond its wall. A map warns them about high-level zones where players get stuck suffering. Yeonwoo teases Hanbit about his plain avatar despite free customization option. Yeonwoo brags about spending 5 hours sculpting his stylish in-game look. An example shows how avatars can look completely different from reality. Hanbit wonders aloud where they should head next for their adventure. His eyes suddenly widen in shock at something unexpected appearing. A donation pops up. 50,000 won, requesting Atsubal's angry face. Yeonwoo screams with joy, thanking the generous donor profusely. Hanbit immediately asks if he gets half of that donation money. Another donation arrives from someone named Atsubal's parasite plant. A third donation praises the rank 1 newbie as absolutely insane. A massive 100,000 won donation appears from Flame Charisma. Yeonwoo's jaw drops at the enormous sum, screaming in disbelief. He shows Hanbit the viewer count, over 8,000 watching now. Hanbit stuns at hitting 8,000 viewers from a single quest. Both characters bow gratefully, thanking everyone for the support. Hanbit calculates his cut, 250,000 won total. Yeonwoo performs a ridiculous gratitude dance for the stream. Hanbit realizes one quest could make them seriously wealthy. He clenches his fist, determined to finally repay his mother. A missing person notice reveals Hanbit vanished during military enlistment. His mother sits surrounded by papers, desperately searching for him. Yeonwoo urges Hanbit to try using the magic book now. Hanbit's hands carefully open the ornate book with its glowing gem. Red digital light engulfs him as something powerful activates violently. The Fireball skill card reveals its unique rank power. Hanbit reads unimpressed. This feels underwhelming for his effort. Yeonwoo's amazed instructions poured straight into his head. Both stare confused. Hanbit felt absolutely nothing happen. Yeonwoo laughs as the knowledge finally arrives delayed. Hanbit's eyes narrow, skills from past life transferring here. A goddess appears explaining the existing character meaning. Yeonwoo urges him to use it for waiting viewer. Yeonwoo points at a rock, demanding Hanbit test it. Hanbit focuses intensely, channeling energy into his palm. He breathes deeply, preparing to unleash the spell. Flames erupt as Hanbit screams, "Fireball!" with fury. The blazing projectile rockets through the air toward target. Fireball detonates with earth-shaking explosive force. A massive explosion engulfs everything in scorching flame. Yeonwoo screams in awe at the devastating destruction. Hanbit stands coolly while Yeonwoo cheers him on. He smirks, impressed by rank 1's surprising power. Suddenly, Hanbit's eyes widen, something's terribly wrong. Dark energy engulfs him, terror flooding his expression. A mysterious title unlocks. Recorder of 55 cycle. Hanbit gasps, recognizing the presence confronting him. A colossal hand descends from the cosmic void above. Hanbit collapses, panting from the overwhelming encounter. The book reveals his new ability skills grow faster now. Dark-haired lead grits his teeth in sudden frustration. Something grabs his leg. He curses that damned Gada. He clutches his head, realizing the goddess has been watching. His blonde companion asks if Hez okay. He brushes it off. He thinks telling him wouldn't help anyway. The blonde excitedly asks to see a normal grade spell. He reluctantly agrees, warning him not to laugh. The blonde takes a deep breath, preparing himself. He casts a fireball with impressive flame. The dark-haired stares unimpressed at the tiny flame on his chest. He admits it looks cool but notes it's small for magic. The blonde celebrates getting a D-rank magic book. He complains about unfairness while the dark-haired smirks knowingly. A dark silhouette stands among monsters, hinting at hidden power. The dark-haired lectures him about having the wrong idea about magic. He explains magic isn't just clicking. It requires deeper understanding. Walking together, he reveals magic is actually math. The blonde admits he won't use a staff despite the unique rank. Dark-haired scratches his head, confused by this decision. The blonde reminds him he made this character just yesterday. Chat mocks him for refusing to main a unique book. The dark-haired grows angry at the chat's teasing. He kicks his companion while shouting about what they know about magic. Then he declares there's no quest info for anyone now. A chibi version of him relaxes in a bathtub with money raining down. The duo stands frozen, processing the sudden windfall. They bow, awkwardly playing humble for their new audience. Hanbit smirks, wondering when he became so obsessed with money. He suddenly perks up, spotting a new objective. A thoughtful look crosses his face. He knows just the place. They arrive at a secluded, rustic wooden building in the wood. Yeonwoo questions, skipping the main story, but Hanbit has priority. He insists on gathering essential skills before tackling the bigger picture. A gloved hand pushes open the heavy creaking door. Inside, a muscular man is busy chopping meat at a block. Mounted trophies of fearsome beasts adorn the cabin's wooden wall. Yeonwoo shivers, saying the creepy place always unsettles him. The burly NPC hunter Reikner turns cleaver in hand. Hanbit calmly states his purpose, to learn the art of archery. Reikner slams his cleaver down, asking skeptically, "Is that so?" He leans in, demanding to know if Hanbit has any grit. Hanbit confidently asserts he possesses both grit and skill. A system window pops up detailing Reikner's trial and its reward. Hanbit stands at the range, studying the distant target. He confirms the scoring rules with the stoic hunter. Yeonwoo panics, urging him to invest in agility first. Hanbit ignores him, his fingers deftly knocking an arrow. He draws the bowstring, taught his focus absolute. The arrow screams through the air toward the bullseye. It strikes dead center, embedding itself perfectly in the target. Hanbit advises putting stat points into agility for archery. He claims has got the feel for it already. Yeonwoo awkwardly encourages him to give it his best. Yeonwoo watches confused as Hanbit prepares to shoot. An arrow strikes the target's center with perfect precision. Yeonwoo's jaw drops in complete shock at the shot. He stares at the target, utterly speechless. Hanbit draws his bow, readying another shot with Foku. Arrows hit the bullseye, repeatedly scoring perfect point. A barrage of arrows flies toward the target. The arrows strike with explosive, concentrated force. Target is obliterated by the sheer power. The wooden stand is destroyed by the final arrow. Hanbit raises a fist in quiet, determined victory. His total score is an impossible 287 point. The scene shifts to a quiet town under a blue sky. Gold coins are tossed playfully into the air. A hand catches them, their owner bored and wrestle. She complains about the lack of worthy opponent. Next, she scoffs at weaklings with poor security. Her expression shifts, sensing something interesting nearby. She watches two silhouettes approach through a gateway. For a moment, she smirks, calling them idiots for approaching her. Yeonwoo happily carries their loot, humming a tune. Hanbit looks on, unimpressed by his friend's glee. Yeonwoo excitedly praises Hanbit's surprising archery skill. His eyes turn to gold coins, dreaming of future wealth. He sets a subscriber goal, hoping for big donation. The blonde asks where they should head next. Hanbit decides to learn swordsmanship, starting with quick step. Yeonwoo is shocked, calling the skill useless trash. Hanbit dismisses his complaints and marches ahead. The blonde scrambles to catch up, calling for him. They arrive in town, spotting an NPC named Rhea. Rhea explains why the skill is avoided by most. Yeonwoo doubts Hanbit can handle the difficult training. Hanbit steps forward, ready to prove himself. He faces Rhea, stating he wants to learn from her. Rhea acknowledges his spirit but remains skeptical. She demonstrates incredible speed, kicking up dust. Rhea swiftly snatches a pouch right from his hand. She dashes away, leaving Hanbit standing, stunned. Rhea taunts him, calling his reaction far too slow. She demands 5,000 gold up front for tuition. Hanbit nonchalantly agrees, telling her to just teach him. He mutters about the cheap price compared to past theft. Rhea pauses considering his strange knowing attitude. She smirks, admitting she really doesn't like him. Then she bolts, yelling for them to try and catch her. The chase begins as Hanbit and Yewu pursue her. A new quest pops up: find Rhea before time runs out. Chat warns them this quest is basically impossible to complete. The 15-hour timer starts locking them into this chase. He decides to call in backup instead of chasing alone. They arrive at a familiar shop with a red bottle sign. Atsubal greets them, confused how they know she's Rhea's sister. He nervously lies about hearing it through the grapevine. She sighs, clearly not buying his terrible excuse. He stammers about graffiti, but Chat sees nothing. Suddenly, he smugly points out they should have paid more attention. He reminds her throwing her in jail made this possible. She glares, asking if his coming. He quickly agrees. Meanwhile, Rhea lounges on steps playing with a cat. She laughs, certain they've given up the search already. A familiar voice calls her name from behind. Rhea freezes, seeing her big sister standing over her. She panics, stammering in complete disbelief. Her eyes spiral with confusion at the impossible situation. She accuses them of cheating. How'd they find her sister? Atsubal calls her over with a terrifyingly calm voice. Atsubal grabs her ear, yelling about pickpocketing again. She lectures Rhea about the dangers of stealing from strangers. Atsubal orders her back to the shop after crying. He thanks Atsubal while Rhea sits dazed and defeated. Rhea hands over the quest reward, a stunning, unique book. Rhea begrudgingly hands over the book, honoring her deal. The quest completion screen reveals a unique rank skill manual. Rhea bolts, yelling she never wants to see them again. Yeonwoo stumbles in shocked. Hanbit finished so quickly. Hanbit casually shows off another unique rank reward to everyone. He activates the book, ready to learn swordsmanship next. Green energy swirls as the skill book gets consumed. Hanbit muses about books vanishing once learned weird system. Yeonwoo asks why he bothered learning quickstep at all. Hanbit explains his logic. Tiny speed boosts win close race. The race results prove him right, winning by 1 second. Yeonwoo laughs it off. Hanbit's reply about dying hits brutal him. Yeonwoo gets excited, asking if swordsmanship is next on the list. Chat roasts Yeonwoo for trying to look cool and failing. Hanbit realizes most players follow identical progression route. He reads the guidebook, questioning why everyone takes the same path. Flashback reveals Ulick's scam blocked players from finding Atsubal. Atsubal vanished in frustration, leaving Rhea abandoned and alone. Hanbit realizes Hez the first to clear both sisters' quest. His unique experiences are hints pointing toward the right path. He declares hell clear the game his own way now. Hanbit wonders what the mysterious Kingdus is truly planning. A vision shows him as a puppet, Hez done being controlled. The duo leaps through trees, heading toward their next destination. They arrive at a remote swordsmanship NPC hidden deep in wood. Hanbit points excitedly toward a red pavilion nestled in the misty forest. They wave up at a silhouetted figure, announcing they're here to learn swordsmanship. Balder instructs them to grab wooden swords and swing until he says stop. An extreme close-up reveals Balder's piercing, calculating eye beneath the shadow. Yeonwoo shivers, muttering that this place is still creepy as ever. A system window identifies him as Swordsman Balder, master of quickstep. Balder stands motionless, wind swirling around his traditional garb and wide hat. Hanbit glances back at the practiced swords leaning against a tree. Balder's intense gaze narrows. No speeches needed, just action. A real sword hangs at Balder's hip, a silent reminder of his lethal skill. Hanbit swings the wooden sword with fierce determination, dust kicking up. Yeonwoo explains the quest has 2 stages. Swinging first, then sparring. Chat messages reveal most players take over 2 hours to complete it. Someone recalls a hilarious clip of a player asking Balder how to chop Bodhi. Yeonwoo muses that skill-teaching NPCs can actually kill player. Bets flood in. Viewers wager real money on whether he finishes in 25 minutes. Yeonwoo screams about the mission pot exceeding 800,000 won. Hanbit stands ready, wooden sword gripped tightly, facing the challenge ahead. He closes his eyes, centering himself before the real test begins. Balder's voice echoes. Swinging isn't about time or repetition. Narration reveals Balder never expected raw talent from beginner. Floating mouths mockingly chant that swords are the safest choice. Balder drinks from his cup, finding such casual players insulting. Hanbit grips his sword with fierce determination. Balder wants serious attitude. Their eyes lock in silent understanding, the real training about to begin. A hand rises, signaling the training session's end. The instructor declares, "That's enough," lowering their blade. Hanbit's eyes light up, catching the system notification. Yeonwoo spots it too. Stage 2 unlocked at last. Yeonwoo shouts, demanding mission credit for their effort. A donation pops up. Sword King bets 10,000 won. Hanbit raises an eyebrow, doubling down already. Another donation, now 100,000 with bungee stake. Hanbit calculates quietly. 4 blocks might be tight. Yeonwoo panics. Why does he have to jump too? Hanbit stares at him with an unsettling sly grin. Yanwu sweats, asking what that slippery fish look mean. Hanbit pats his shoulder. No bungee jumping promise. His confident smile screams trouble. Trust me, 1,000,001 drops. Sword Kings impressed by their friendship. Both freeze stunned by the massive donation bomb. Hanbit does the math. 1,800,000 total. Insane. The instructor watches silently, sensing the rising tension. Hanbit grips his wooden sword, knuckles tightening. Blue energy crackles along the blade, humming with power. He drops into stance, leaves swirling around him. The instructor launches forward in a blinding blur. Impact explodes. Rocks shatter beneath the crushing strike. The instructor spins mid-air, unleashing a rapid barrage. Hanbit grins wildly. Here we go. Ria's blade cuts through the air with terrifying speed. She swings her weapon overhead, bringing it down hard. Yanwu's jaw drops, questioning if Hanbit always hits that hard. Hanbit grits his teeth, straining against the overwhelming force. He manages to block the strike, sparks flying everywhere. Yanwu screams in disbelief. Hanbit actually blocked her attack. Ria smirks, impressed, letting out a low, amused chuckle. She dashes forward again, her movements impossibly fast. Hanbit raises his weapon, ready to meet her head-on. Their weapons collide with a deafening crack of force. The two fighters exchange brutal blows in rapid succession. Hanbit notes his movements feel sluggish. The gears sync rate. An explosive impact sends dust and debris flying everywhere. Hanbit activates Quick Step, dodging with newfound agility. Ria watches him carefully, noting he looks deep in thought. She taunts him, asking if things aren't going as expected. Hanbit smirks back confidently, chat going absolutely wild. Ria's eyes narrow. She admits she may have misjudged him. She launches an icy attack, declaring shall end this farce. Hanbit shouts back. They won't know till they see it through. They clash again, energy crackling between their weapon. Hanbit screams Hyung while unleashing a powerful strike. Yeonwoo panics, yelling that Hanbit is way too strong now. Someone barely dodges a lethal blow, thanking their lucky star. Ria leaps back as chat debates whether Hanbit can actually win. Balder smirks beneath his hat, sensing his opponent's nerve. Balder attacks surprised Hanbit's holding out better than expected. Balder unleashes another devastating strike with blinding speed. Hanbit blocks with blue energy crackling between their weapon. Balder's eyes widen. Genuine shock registers on his face. Hanbit grins, taunting that Balder's movements are getting sloppy. Balder launches an aerial assault with crushing downward force. Hanbit spots the incoming attack and braces himself. Hanbit sweats, realizing this particular strike is genuinely dangerous. Hanbit slides sideways, barely dodging the lethal blow. His foot plants hard, regaining balance mid-combat. Balder emerges from blue energy, silhouetted and terrifying. Hanbit charges forward with fierce determination. Their wooden swords collide with tremendous shattering force. Hanbit's wooden sword breaks apart mid-clash. Balder stands victorious, watching his opponent fall. Hanbit collapses, counting 4 successful blocks. Exactly what he needed. A triumphant grin spreads across Hanbit's face. Mission complete. Hanbit lies exhausted while chat explodes with confusion. System announces sparring ends. Wooden sword destroyed, quest satisfied. Yanwu asks about mission money. Hanbit promises calculations later. Yeonwoo nervously confirms Hanbit will actually pay in full. Hanbit suddenly asks about their army meeting, changing subject. Hanbit grabs Yanwoo's collar with unexpected intensity. Yanwu panics, demanding to know Hanbit's past. Regression? Reincarnation? Hanbit downplays his skills while chat wildly guesses his real job. Yeonwoo asks if all mission money goes to Hanbit. Hanbit insists Yeonwoo earned his share through pure mechanic. Yeonwoo nervously asks about the bungee jumping stake. Hanbit realizes the bet wasn't real. Chat roasts him mercilessly. Sword King drops a massive donation, asking for sword content. Hanbit gratefully promises to use the sword plenty. Balder leans silently against a tree, radiating quiet tension. Hanbit senses the master's fury simmering beneath the calm. Balder's composed exterior barely conceals his frustration. Hanbit realizes Balder blames himself for being read by a rookie. Hanbit cautiously asks if the sparring is finally over. Balder curtly tells him to wait and walks away. Hanbit warns Hoover's next will face a furious master. Balder returns and silently offers a glowing skill book. Hanbit realizes Hez now learned 4 different skill. The quest completion screen reveals maximum rewards granted. Another viewer begs desperately for sword tutoring. Chat floods with identical requests from eager viewer. Hanbit asks Yanwu to handle the chat while he's busy. Yanwu enthusiastically offers tutoring. Chat immediately rejects him. Hanbit calls out to Balder directly. Hanbit presses, sensing Balder has something else to reveal. Balder stands in heavy silence, arms crossed. Balder reveals his master has relocated to Edlin. Balder hands Hanbit a mysterious cloth token. He promises the master will listen if shown it. The cloth hints at a hidden, windy location. Hanbit ponders the clue, holding it tightly. He suggests heading back, leaving Yanwu confused. A donation pops up as they gaze at Star. Yanwu realizes Balder has a master surprise. Hanbit abruptly ends the day, shocking everyone. He needs sleep for work, prioritizing reality. Logging out, Yeonwoo asks about streaming tomorrow. A digital transition shifts the scene to reality. Hanbit removes his VR headset, complaining about heat. Hez drenched in sweat from that intense session. His phone suddenly buzzes with a notification. Yeonwoo sends money with a cheerful message. The bank deposit shows 3 million Bol won. Hanbit stares completely shocked by the windfall. His eyes widen in absolute stunned disbelief. He questions earning so much in 2 days. At work, he calculates playtime versus earning. He wonders if he should quit for streaming, but he recalls fighting hard to return here. He apologizes to viewers, calling streaming a hobby. Yeonwoo's message pressures him to keep streaming. Hanbit resolves to focus on a stable job. Hanbit smiles softly, wishing he could make her happy. A voice suddenly screams his full name in shock. His mom looms over him, demanding answers this early. She holds up her phone, furious about mysterious money. Hanbit's eyes widen, caught completely off guard. The screen shows 3 million won freshly deposited. Mom smacks his head, suspecting something shady happened. He swears the money came from honest work. She assumes gambling, but he denies it vehemently. Hanbit explains streaming games with his friend Yeonwoo. Chibi versions celebrate playing together, earning money streaming. He promises he'd never do anything illegal. Mom heads to work, telling him to prepare too. Hanbit insists Hez telling the complete truth. Mom believes him, but worries he'll work himself to death. Hanbit sits alone, processing the heavy conversation. His eyes harden with quiet, steely determination. He touches the door, thinking about her debt burden. Standing there, he vows to make her life comfortable. He recalls 55 cycles of regression and reincarnation. Reality hits when his boss catches him spacing out. The boss demands focus and professionalism at the company. Mentor Lee Minho hands him documents, then leave. The content's difficult, but organized perfectly for understanding. Just as he starts, the team leaders suddenly call. Team leader berate his Hanbit, calling him trial version unfairly. He tosses his card, ordering Hanbit to fetch coffee. Hanbit nervously asks what everyone wants to drink. The leader scoffs, clearly irritated by the question. We only drink iced Americanos here, he snaps coldly. Hanbit panics, apologizing for forgetting such a simple rule. He realizes the leader wants excuses to target Lee Minho. The errand feels heavier than it should. Returning, he finds Lee Minho now facing the leader's wrath. Lee Minho stares blankly through the verbal assault. Then he slowly opens his mouth to respond. With my current workload, that's impossible, sir, he say. The leader's anger flares at this defiance. Papers scatter across the floor as the leader throws them. Hanbit interrupts, with the coffee cutting the tension. Both men kneel to gather the scattered document. The leader's glare sharpens, understanding Hanbit's intervention. Unbelievable, he mutters under his breath. They return to their desks, but Lee Minho remains unsettled. His reflection in the monitor shows hollow, empty eye. Sorry you had to witness that, Lee Minho says quietly. Hanbit dismisses it, but Lee Minho hints at deeper issue. The new project assigned to him involves development work. It will consume his time, preventing him from mentoring Hanbit. Hanbit reveals he glimpsed the project's connection to RP. He explains his complex hardware project requires extensive personal testing. His colleague offers to help with the demanding task. He stands outside looking drained after a long day. A friend calls out to him excitedly from across the street. He turns, looking confused by the sudden greeting. His friend asks how work was, waving cheerfully. His friend notes his exhausted face, asking if he even slept. He admits to only 3 hours of sleep and suggests talking inside. They head into an Odia, coffee. He collapses into a chair, groaning from sheer exhaustion. He complains office life is draining enough to fill a whole rant stream. He asks what his friend wanted to discuss, face still on the table. Phone is flooded with messages from companies after yesterday's stream. One offer from Manhwa Gaming has a staggering 100 million won starting salary. His friend suggests he pick a company, recommending one personally. His expression darkens, ominously worrying his friend. His friend nervously asks what happened at work. He slams his hands on the table, demanding his friend stop hiding thing. His friend calls him out, saying Hez terrible at lying. He asks if his friend really wants him to join a big corporation. His friend stammers it's not from a bad place, reaching out. He grabs his friend's hair in frustration, yelling about not hiding feeling. A loud scream echoes from the coffee shop exterior. His friend complains Hez being mean, clutching his head in pain. Hanbit sits at a cafe, patiently waiting to hear his friend's proposal first. He admits RP is popular, but confesses it honestly doesn't suit him. Yanwu explains RP's freedom sounded cool, but progress was painfully slow. Hanbit turns to Yeonwoo, his expression softening with genuine warmth. In-game, Hanbit gazes upward, calling Yeonwoo the brightest star in RP. A dramatic flashback shows Yeonwoo reaching out desperately through shimmering light. Yeonwoo wants to witness every exciting moment and share it with everyone. Back at the cafe, Hanbit smiles, proposing an MCN built around Yeonwoo. He describes it less like a company, more like a hybrid guild. The suited man grins, recognizing this dream from their army days together. He questions how they'll actually make money from this ambitious venture. Hanbit excitedly shows his phone, explaining Recorder's new VOD upload feature. He reveals their videos are featured at the top of the platform. New players will start RP after watching, wanting to join their journey. Hanbit proposes expanding the channel for real eyes, sparkling with enthusiasm. He offers co-CEO status, promising to help with Yeonwoo's streaming too. The suited man dismisses the title, but vows to help however needed. Hanbit's expression darkens as he reveals deeper reasons for playing RP. He whispers it's also his last chance to reach something called Erfort. Clearing the game and finding Erfort might finally give him answer. Hanbit wonders if he'll understand why he died over and over. Yeonwoo leans in, curiously sensing his friend's sudden heavy mood. A phone buzzes loudly, interrupting the vulnerable moment between them. Yeonwoo cheerfully notes Hanbit's already flooded with new messages from viewer. Hanbit checks his phone, muttering about the life of a popular man. Hyung looks confused, asking what the chatter is about. Yeonwoo anxiously tries calling someone, urging them to pick up. Hyung questions what's happening as Yeonwoo grows frustrated. Hyung recalls the golden-bowed vanguard from Edlin. Yeonwoo explains they're from a German corporation, Rashton. They discuss Rashton monopolizing quests and removing bomb slime. Hyung is baffled by community rumors blaming him. An angry player curses Rashton and scammers outside. His companion tells him to quiet down. She notes he at least got a rare item. He rants about the unfair first-come quest reward system. She explains Rashton's move has hidden the slime. They mention Black Dragon must do a clarification stream. Hyung quietly wonders about Rashton's true size. A flashback notes their value comes from powerful player. Hyung smiles, hinting he has a way to handle Thee. He tells Yeonwoo to delay the stream for a check. Hyung sips his drink, deep in thought. The scene shifts to a quiet night over the city. Someone rapidly flips through a book full of data. The pages stop on a specific marked entry. A close-up shows a determined, knowing smile. Hyung holds a book, announcing has found it. He steps into a digital realm to investigate personally. There he arrives at a familiar cave entrance from memory. He spots the bomb slimes clustered together, glowing ominously. Inside him, he steps carefully among them, trying not to trigger explosion. His hand rests near his sword, ready for anything. He realizes there's only one reason they'd gather like Thee. Looking up, he spots his target and says, "There you are." The Bomb Slime King level 7 looms before him. These kings absorb normal slimes to grow larger and stronger. But something's off. It shouldn't be pulling in this many at once. A strange sparkle catches his eye in the darkness. He identifies it immediately. A monster lure planted deliberately here. The lure bears the Rashton Corporation's insignia, confirming his suspicion. Monster lures are rare one-time items from Northern Dungeon. Rashton installed it here to artificially create this slime me. Now it all makes sense, why only bomb slimes remained. He channels fire magic, preparing to end this quickly. The fireball rockets toward the massive Slime King. A massive damage counter flashes. 64 hits, connecting perfectly. The system rewards him with experience levels and new title. Hez stunned by how many slimes were packed inside that king. Meanwhile, a community post exposing the bomb slime situation explodes online. Yeonwoo uploaded the footage anonymously, protecting their identity. The comments section fills with furious players cursing Rashton's name. He remembers Zentromber, the NPC he found in the guidebook. Zentromber was the miner who originally dug this very cave. The cave entrance hides secrets, connecting slimes, kings, and corporate greed. He confirms Zentromber's existence to pinpoint the king. The strange part is, Zentromber's name is in the guidebook. Yet there's no information about the cave itself. A guidebook doesn't reveal everything, but this feels deliberate. The book contains staggering information, but accuracy is spotty. It feels like some gears were deliberately removed. He wonders just who adventurer. Someone shouts about proficiency, explaining why everyone avoids magic. You must max proficiency to learn the next spell rank. Grinding magic proficiency is brutal, so most give up. Most of them switch to other skill trees instead. But then what exactly did you do? He laughs about hitting 100% proficiency in one day. His friend begs him to say it's a joke. He dismisses it as just rank 1, the lowest tier. His friend demands proof, saying spells take a month. The system window shows multiple skills at rank 1. His friend collapses to the ground, stunned by proof. He cries hysterically, insisting it must be a bug. Hanbit shrugs, saying that's just how it turned out. His friend asks why not mention this on stream. Hanbit says he wants to show something more fun first. He turns to address the crowd, calling them villain. Suddenly, a bright blue light flashes and activates. Roper starts the stream, denying any Rashton connection. Chat buzzes as Black Dragon prepares to find Baldur's master. He asks if Rhea ran off again, smiling knowingly. The woman sighs, saying the girl never listen. He tells her to go easy, they'll reunite soon. She smiles, softly relieved by his gentle reassurance. Then she thanks Black Dragon for his kindness and understanding. He asks to learn the next spell, eager to progress. She beams, happily agreeing to teach him immediately. Next, she hands him his second magic book with a quest. Chat debates the heroic rank, some disappointed it's not unique. Curious onlookers press against the window, watching intently. The ancient spellbook opens, revealing mysterious glowing text. Golden light erupts as Black Dragon absorbs the spell. Everyone cheers as he ranks up and learns Fireburst. She directs him to Ursul's magic research lab if stuck. Heavy footsteps echo as someone approaches with purpose. He exits the shop, unaware of eyes watching him. A massive crowd has gathered outside, blocking the path. A hooded figure smirks ominously in the gathering darkness. Black Dragon and Atsubal push through the watching crowd. He jokes with the hooded stranger, asking him to relax. The stranger mutters he hopes things go well this time. Demands erupt as people crowd Atsubal for the magic book. Bystanders whisper about Rashton's ruthless tactics outside the shop. Black Dragon and his friend relax in the forest, mocking Rashton's greed. Hyung questions Yanwu about stopping Rashton's monopoly. Hooded Han gathers players ready to open books simultaneously. The countdown begins with a tense 1. Hyung signals the start, Yeonwoo confused. 2. They brace for what's coming. 3. Books fly open in a burst. Hooded Hyung grins, holding his book triumphantly. Showtime, Hyung smirks, plan in motion. Chaos erupts as books burst into flame. A player screams as his magic book burns. A woman desperately tries to extinguish the flame. Shop owner Atsubal rages at the destruction. Everyone flees the burning building in panic. Hyung and Yeonwoo watch, satisfied with the chow. A player discovers the quest rewards have changed. The new quest shows drastically lowered reward. Hyung asks how many succeeded. The answer? 0. Hooded Hyung processes the information silently. Hyung walks away as someone warns of approaching player. Hyung and Yeonwoo face the angry ranger. They stand their ground, unflinching. Hooded Hyung confronts the newcomer, ready to talk.